Welcome back to the ACB Wrestling Talk channel, your main source for wrestling news and wrestling discussions. I'm, of course, your host, Alexis Carrillo, and let's get into some wrestling talk. Now, it's been one hell of a week for professional wrestling fans. We've had great shows starting on Monday night on Raw, starting on Wednesday night with the whole Wednesday Night War commencing, Dynamite versus NXT pulling out all the stops, and tonight with Smackdown Live's 20th anniversary and Fox premiere, where we crowned a brand new WWE champion, once again in the Beast Incarnate, Brock Lesnar, which definitely had many people, many fans around the world talking about the future of WWE and about the future of all wrestling pretty much right now. So, it's pretty weird to say this, but for the most part, really nobody's noticed that this Sunday, yeah, that's right, this Sunday, we have yet another pay-per-view. The pay-per-view titled as Hell in a Cell, taking place from Sacramento, California. Of course, you wouldn't know that because WWE has been too busy hyping up SmackDown's premiere on Fox that they've taken a pretty much careless build, a careless view to Hell in a Cell coming up this Sunday. So this video right here, this preview for Sunday's show might be one of the shortest previews we do on this channel because only four matches have been made official, most of them on the Raw side of things. I'll just include a few that I assume will be included from here until the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view starts. So let's get started with the preview and the predictions of what goes down this Sunday at Hell in a Cell. And speaking of that structure, that hellish structure that nobody wants to compete in because essentially you're trapped, you got nowhere to go, and you got to pull out everything, every single drop of blood and every single tear, everything to win this match. And I'm talking specifically to Seth Rollins. The Universal Champion has one hell of a challenge for this Sunday when he faces off not against Bray Wyatt, somebody who he's faced before and I believe he's beaten before, but he's facing off against the Fiend, this new multi-dimensional, multifaceted character that, at least this is my interpretation, every time we get a Firefly Funhouse episode, we get a view of what goes on in the mind of the Fiend and his many characters and his many, personalities. And as far as who I think walks out with the Universal Championship, it would be easy to assume that Seth Rollins must retain the title, and that Seth Rollins needs to be built up on the road to WrestleMania because he might very well be defending that title come WrestleMania next year, but you've also got to protect the Fiend. You've also got to make the Fiend look as strong as possible. And honestly, you can't pull another Hell in a Cell finish like last year when there was a no contest because Lesnar returned. So there has to be a winner. There has to be a clear, decisive winner for this Sunday at Hell in a Cell. And I believe the Fiend is right now the most interesting and the most important character in WWE today. So the Fiend walks out with the Universal Championship, hopefully finally establishing Bray Wyatt as a main event star for years and years to come, rather than the all talk, and he can't really back it up, that he's been ever since he became the Eater of Worlds. So that's my prediction. I think Bray Wyatt defeats Seth Rollins for the Universal Championship. And, now that we've touched on the topic of Seth Rollins, we head over to the topic of Becky Lynch. The man herself gets to defend her Raw Women's title against the boss, Sasha Banks, inside the Hell in a Cell structure. And I'm going to make this short, simple, and sweet. It's not going to be a great night for the power couple in WWE, Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins. I believe Becky Lynch is going to possibly be cheated out, in a sense of things, cheated out of the Raw Women's title this Sunday. Sasha Banks becomes your new Raw Women's Champion, And now you basically have the two baby faces chasing the heels for the titles, which honestly to me makes for a much more interesting storyline, makes for much more entertaining TV. And then we've got ourselves a couple of matches on the Smackdown side of things. We've got ourselves an impromptu Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan versus Eric Rowan and Luke Harper tag team match set for Hell in a Cell. Honestly, I think they've kind of dropped the ball on this entire feud, on this entire rivalry, because if you ask me, I was looking forward to a Bryan versus Reigns match, and it seems they either seem to be delaying it or it might not be in the plans yet. And again, the draft is taking place this, I believe, this Monday and ending on Friday, or does it start on SmackDown Live on Friday? But the draft's taking place. They might get separated again. Who knows? Again, not very interested in a tag team match when you got main event caliber superstars like Daniel Bryan and like Roman Reigns to put on such a big main event match. And then this was just made official tonight. The SmackDown Women's title on the line. Bayley defends against the Queen, Charlotte Flair. And you gotta keep momentum going. You gotta keep them strong. And even though they haven't booked them strong, I still think Bayley retains with the help of Sasha Banks and the two members of the first ever WWE Women's Tag Team Champions will control all the power because they will be their respective brands' women's champions. Now, of course, the one wrench in that plan is if Sasha Banks wins the Raw Women's title and if Bayley retains her SmackDown Women's title, then that means they're going to be separated in the draft. Because I think brand champions, they're protected. The Raw Women's title and the Raw Tag Team titles, they're going to stay on Raw. The same for SmackDown Live. That's guaranteed to happen, at least in my view. So we're just going to have to wait and see what goes down with that whole thing. Or maybe they might have Charlotte Flair win the title just for the sake of keeping Bayley and Sasha, together. We'll have to wait and see. And, I don't know if you heard the news, but again, Brock Lesnar just became a 5-time WWE champion. And he squashed Kofi Kingston. He became champion, just like I predicted. And unfortunately, the way he squashed Kofi Kingston in seconds with just one F5, I'm sorry, but that seems like the end of Kofi's main event run. They've hurt him too much with this loss to Brock Lesnar. That's not what I wanted. I wanted him to have a losing effort, but in the same vein as a Finn Balor or an AJ Styles or a Daniel Bryan before him had. They put up a fight. They put up a great match, and that didn't happen. Lesnar retained. I'm assuming they might have a rematch this Sunday at Hell in a Cell. But we just saw it on Fox. It was a squash on Fox. Might be a few more minutes longer on pay-per-view, but that's all Kofi Kingston might get. Again, it sucks because I believe that they should have established Kofi Kingston as a main event star for years and years to come. That now becomes harder because of what they did to him on this Fox premiere episode of SmackDown Live. So, it is what it is. It's WWE's way of booking things. Sacrificing a star who's going to be around for years and years to come, like Kofi Kingston, just to eventually in the future put over a guy like Cain Velasquez, who made his debut for WWE, who might not stick around, So, again, it's got to do with business. It's got to do with numbers. That's how you run a business, unfortunately. Okay, you can't do nothing about it. All you can do is just watch. So anyway, with only 4 official matches being announced for the pay-per-view, there's really not much more to predict. There's really not much more to preview because, again, they pretty much not cared about the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view as much as other pay-per-views in the past. So we'll just have to wait and see what goes down on the WWE network. Excuse me, So, with that said, are you excited about the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view on Sunday? Will you be watching? Are you excited for any of the matches taking place Honestly, if you ask me, the only 2 matches I'm excited about are the 2 Hell in a Cell matches. Everything else is just blah to me right now, in terms of WWE. So again, have to wait and see what goes down this Sunday. I'm gonna be tuning in. Are you? Okay. What do you think? What are your thoughts, comments, and predictions? Leave them in the comments section below. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you dislike this video, hit the dislike button. That's it for me. Till next time.